What can you tell us about how did your recovery journey begin?
It started when I first came back to Saskatchewan and stayed with my mom and dad for about a year. They actually sought help for me because of my brain injury and my hereditary disorder. I was essentially catatonic, I guess, for the most part, and I'd spend most of my time in the bathroom, not doing anything actually, for 12 hours a day. And they sought somebody to actually try and help me start functioning like I used to. And at that time, it was very hard for my parents to see this, even though they were giving me some great support and doing their darndest to get in there into how can I put it? Try to find an agency or provincial what do you call it?
Service?
Program, service, that would be able to help me start functioning again on my own. I was actually introduced to a few people who would come out to my parents' house, who would talk to me and go for walks with me and start exercising with me, showed me a few things about exercising, and gradually I worked my way into a program here in Regina and was accepted, and it's gone from 3 years where I was essentially catatonic to now where I can feel comfortable walking down the street without a cane. I can feel comfortable walking down a set of stairs without falling. I can go write exams to actually enter a college or a university, or not, if I don't choose to. And it's a miracle that I've ever gotten this far. A lot of things that I did and have done, I don't remember, but somebody has it written down somewhere, and I'm sure I'll get to read it one day. But over the last year, my memory's gotten exponentially better. I can remember last May is where everything started coming back slowly to me. And now I'm functioning on my own. I have my own apartment. I have a part-time job. I have a few side jobs. I get to go out and see my children in BC. I get to do everything that somebody who lives in the world would be able to do on their own without somebody having to hold my hand the whole way or steering me in the right direction, I guess.
What were some of the most significant struggles for you along the way in your journey?
Well, the first one was leaving my children in BC. I had to come out from BC to actually get help. I wasn't getting any support in BC from my spouse at the time and relatives in BC. So I came home and sought my mom and dad's help because I had to. I was sliding backwards, I guess you could say. My memory just left completely. I'd forget names, I'd forget people, I couldn't take care of my daughters. My son, I'd forget to go and see him at points. And my children were the most important things in my life at that time.
Right. Okay. So what's helped most in your journey along the way?
What's helped most is knowing that, I guess the saying, me, myself, and I comes to mind.
Right.
I've been saying to myself for the last while, if I don't do it for me, nobody's going to do it for me.
Yeah.
Which has been something I can work with. Granted, everybody needs a little help for everything, whether it's shoveling snow or writing a paper for a document or simple day-to-day things, just to get back into the swing of life. Showing me how to do laundry properly. That was a big step. Trying to sew buttons on a shirt, that was another big step. Cleaning. Being proud of where I was at the time, knowing that it's my house, it's going to be my home for a while, and I should take pride in it. And well, I guess like every bachelor, at some point they let the dishes pile up. But there's always time to do the dishes. But knowing that I can do things and I make the choices now is 100% gold. From where I was previously, where I couldn't make a decision at all. It didn't matter what it was, to going to here today, where I can say yes or no with confidence, knowing I'm making the right choice for myself.
Right. So I'm going to ask you 4 smaller questions, and there's, the concept of recovery is often described as a person connecting with these 4 internal conditions, and these internal conditions are hope, healing, connection, and empowerment. So briefly, what gives you hope?
Hope. My hope is my children. I hope I'm the dad I was, and be a better dad as best I can. Granted, everybody feels like a bad dad or a bad mom at some point. I think that's a natural part of life. But my kids are my hope, and I want to see them grow up. And that was the main drive for me, was my children. I only got to see them once or twice a year, and they're very special.
So what helps you heal from some of the things you've lost and some of the changes in your life?
Looking back, it didn't. The hope, the changes. Knowing that I am who I am because I don't want to steal Popeye's line, but I don't know.
Right.
What's the question again, Luke?
What's helped you heal?
What's helped me heal?
Right.
Okay.
Because there's obviously, you described a lot of loss, a lot of change. What's helped you heal from some of those and made it easier as you've gone forward in your recovery journey?
Understanding that there were some people in my life that just didn't want to help me.
Right.
And knowing for whatever reason they didn't want to, even though I loved them with all my heart, they just couldn't deal with the fact that I had a brain injury, and to them I was useless. To them I was stupid, or I was lazy, along those lines. And I can't say whether they were wrong or right at that point, when I was being told, I guess. But knowing that I can make the choices now and prove them wrong, for the most, well, no, not for the most part, for the real part. It makes me proud. Right. I healed myself with the help of my parents, the workers here, the people that I've met here, the people that I've met in other groups, other situations, other group social activities, even camping or a barbecue. Everybody made a difference, and seeing the other side of myself in those people, and knowing that if I can do it for myself, why can't I help them as best I can to do it for themselves as well.
Definitely.
And I think has a lot to do with the healing.
Definitely. What helps you feel connected to community, to your recovery, to the greater purpose?
Connected, knowing that there's people out there who have been in the same situation that I have. They've had a brain injury. And not to make light of it, it's very serious, serious injury. But knowing that they may have the same feelings, people may misunderstand them, people may not recognize the fact that they do have a brain injury, and not able to accept that they have a brain injury. And I want to educate the community and say, hey, like, we're still normal people, and we can still contribute, even if it's just a smile or a handshake.
Right.
We don't have to run 40 miles to achieve anything. We just have to be there and smile and well, I guess make people laugh. And I think laughter is probably one of the best medicines, going back to healing. And it also draws a community closer.
Right. So you talked a lot about, taking responsibility and stuff, and it seems like a silly question, but I'll ask you anyways. What's really helped with getting that sense of empowerment back to take control for your life and make decisions and stuff? What's been a critical factor in getting that sense of empowerment back in your life?
Again, me, myself, and I. If I don't do it, nobody's going to do it for me.
Right.
That I tell as many people as I can about that idea, that concept. That if I don't do it for myself, who's going to do it for me? Nobody. I can ask for help along the way.
Yeah.
But if you trip and fail or trip and fall, it doesn't mean you can't get up. And life is like that. Everybody trips and falls at least once.
Right.
And if you don't learn the first time you trip, maybe the second time I'll do it for you. And maybe 3 or 4 times that you may have to trip. But after a while, you stop tripping, or in my case, falling down the stairs. Everything kind of falls into place. And not feeling sorry for myself. I think that was a big thing. Depression was a major factor.
Yeah.
Not being able to see my kids every day, knowing that there were people out there that thought I was useless, and I would never be able to recover from the brain injury, and proving to those people that I was wrong, and proving to I guess the world that there are people out there who have hurt themselves seriously, but they can come back. And you hear those stories every day.
Right. More often than not,
Exactly.
I think. Yeah. So what wisdom would you have to share with somebody who's in an earlier stage of their recovery, earlier phase of their recovery?
Keep moving forward. Everybody says take baby steps. And if that's all it is, take a baby step.
Yeah.
If you have to hold the couch while you're walking, taking the baby step, you can go a lot longer than lying on the floor with your nose in the dirt.
Right. Or use a cane.
Or use the cane, exactly.
Right.
Keep trying.
Right.
And again, if you don't do it for yourself, nobody's going to do it for you.
Right.
And everybody's goal, we have Olympic athletes trying to go for the gold medal. And I think everybody should try and be like that. Not only people with brain injuries, but
Right.
Go for the gold.
Strive
go for
to be the best you can be.
Yeah.
Right.
Doesn't matter what it is.
Right. And on one final note, I also know, I think, if I can make an effort to summarize some of what the message is, definitely take the responsibility to do it yourself, but you've also mentioned about using the supports when you need them to,
There was, when I first came into the program, the workers, my key workers, they held my hand. I'll give them that. And then when I started, stop kind of taking the hold handing, I would go and run with whatever I was doing.
Right.
Best example would be the bus ride to the gym. And after that, I don't think my worker could have stopped me from going. And actually, yeah,
And wouldn't want to. It's almost like I think of it as, riding a bike. We don't, when somebody's first learning to ride a bike, we help along the way. But at some point, we let go, and you may fall, and you did in a couple of cases. But overall, the goal, you did. You learned how to ride the bike again.
Yeah.
So, well, thank you very much, Will. And we thank you very much for sharing your story with us, and hope that sharing it with others will have a positive impact. So
I hope it helps somebody.
thank you.